Brightspot has served as the gold standard of content management system since 2008. The highly customized, easy-to-use technology, coupled with an extensive expert and support partners ecosystem, has empowered industry leading brands to quickly and reliably create and share their content. In Brightspot, customers find not just a platform, but a partner who will walk alongside them in their digital content journey. Find out more at brightspot.com.
What's your story?
What does accessibility mean to you?
Hello and welcome to another episode of the special edition of Inclusion Revolution Radio, collaboration with accessiBe's Spotlight Sessions. My name is Josh Basil. I'm your co-host for today's show. I'm a C4-5 quadriplegic, paralyzed below my shoulders, and a power wheelchair user. I'm the community relations manager at accessiBe and a passionate disability rights advocate and trial attorney focused on breaking down barriers to access and inclusion for people with disabilities.
I'm Novi Craven, your other co-host for today's show. I'm a past Special Olympics athlete, employee of Special Olympics International. I play bocce, basketball, and about any other sport you can think of. I love Special Olympics and the work our organization does to promote friendship, respect, and of course, inclusion.
As the world continues to move more and more online, it has become apparent that the digital tools must be made accessible to all. Thankfully, this inclusionary shift is being led by organizations and companies that are committed to an accessible future. Our vision at accessiBe is to make the internet as accessible and inclusive space as possible. Today, we're lucky to have one of those visionary companies on the show working tirelessly to make the future a reality. We're excited to welcome Parker Ramsdell, Senior Vice President of People, Mission, and Culture at Brightspot. Thank you so much for joining us today, Parker, and welcome to the Inclusion Revolution podcast.
Thank you, Josh. Happy to be here.
It's great to have you.
Parker, we're about to go into questions. Parker, I know you have personal connections to Special Olympics. Can you tell us more about that as well as your professional journey?
Absolutely. My relationship with Special Olympics now dates back over 25 years. When I was thinking about this, it was hard to believe that it's already been 25 years. Back in 8th grade, my civics class had a requirement that we participate in community service projects. I was a swimmer growing up and wanted to do something that was swimming related. So my mom helped me sign up to help coach a local Special Olympics swim team. My first practice, I got paired up with an athlete named David Egan, and that moment changed my life. David and I hit it off, and we continued to practice together for the next 5 years, both directly through Special Olympics and one-on-one as well. So throughout my entire high school experience, David and I were working together in the water. We've maintained a relationship for the past 25 years since. We've met up at World Games in Athens and Abu Dhabi and Los Angeles. He's been to my wedding. We even got some chili dogs a couple of months ago. But David is an inspiring champion advocate for inclusion. And through that experience, I really just saw firsthand the power of the Special Olympics movement. And it's been all in ever since. In 2011, I had the opportunity to join the team at Special Olympics, working to launch the inaugural unified sports experience at the World Games in Athens, Greece that summer. We organized 27 unified competitions and saw the incredibly powerful impact of uniting people with and without intellectual disabilities as teammates and the joy that came from them competing together. While I was at those games, I met David Gang, who's the founder of Brightspot and a long time supporter of Special Olympics. We stayed in contact after the games wound up. I moved into a different career in politics for a few years and then wound up coming to Brightspot in 2013 to guide the company's mission and commitment to making a positive impact in the community, and chief among them, establishing and continuing to build on our relationship with Special Olympics.
Parker, thank you so much for sharing that. I love the history and how far it goes back and how it came back to be something that you're doing full circle, which is a beautiful thing. And Parker, what do you most proud of when it comes to your partnership between Brightspot and Special Olympics? And can you share us a little bit more about that partnership?
Absolutely. So our partnership with Special Olympics takes kind of two paths. The first path is more on the technology front. In my decade plus at Brightspot, we've helped launch over 20 digital properties to support Special Olympics. These have ranged from a full redesign and migration of SpecialOlympics.org back in 2018 to World and USA Games websites, and then one-off campaigns to support initiatives like a very special Christmas and spread the word inclusion. The second aspect, though, is engaging our employees directly with the Special Olympics movement. We've sent a team of volunteers to every World Games since 2013, as well as the past 2 USA Games. These volunteers have helped manage the on-site logistics for the unified sports experiences and directed thousands of award ceremonies. Novi, I think we even might have helped give you a medal once upon a time back in Seattle. But additionally, kind of in addition to the big World Games events, we're actively involved with Special Olympics Virginia. We volunteer at local tournaments. We participate in the Dulles Day plane pull and even organize unified sports events like a unified bowling night that we did a few months ago to provide our employees with the opportunity to compete alongside Special Olympics athletes. And so thinking back on those 10 plus years of this work, I'm incredibly proud of what we've built for Special Olympics and the impact those sites have had in growing the movement. But what I'm most proud of is how we've provided an avenue for employees to participate in Special Olympics. I mentioned earlier about my 25-year journey with Special Olympics and how it started in a pool in 8th grade. Special Olympics is life-changing for millions of athletes, and we know the impact that Special Olympics has directly on athletes. But I know from my own experience that the impact is even equal, if not greater than on what it has and what it does for volunteers. So the ability of Brightspot to empower so many of its employees to be directly involved in Special Olympics, to join hand in hand, to participate alongside athletes and expose them to the joy that comes through Special Olympics is what I'm most proud of, is all of the employees we've engaged over the last 10 plus years.
Just those types of stories and the impact, it's the gift that keeps on giving. And Special Olympics is great at spreading inclusivity. Like what are some other ways that Brightspot has kind of learned from Special Olympics on spreading inclusivity?
Absolutely. So we've actually learned firsthand at Brightspot. Brightspot has employed a Special Olympics athlete since 2012. Rose Plesko has really helped put a face to the name of Special Olympics, right? It's not just an organization we help. We have an athlete in the office with us every single day that allows us to kind of understand and see firsthand the power of inclusion. And Rose is a true champion of inclusion. Every March, the company participates in Spread the Word Inclusion. Rose organizes a range of events for employees to participate in to help us celebrate Spread the Word, which always includes employees pledging their commitment to spreading inclusion. Beyond that, many of our employees have had the unique opportunity to participate in unified sports over the year. And when you have the opportunity to spend an evening sharing a lane at a bowling alley, or hitting the slopes in Aspen and racing side by side, snowboarding and skiing down the mountaintop, or teeing off for 18 holes with a Special Olympics athlete as a teammate, you get to see the joy and passion that those athletes bring to the competition. And it's impossible not to be moved and understand the importance of inclusion and what that opportunity means. And so I think what we've learned from athletes that we've had the chance to compete with as teammates on the playing field.
Well, I'm a big believer, as I told you earlier, about letting the disability community have a seat at the table or to be a part of the journey together. And it's crystal clear that Brightspot gets it. They want to be a part of it. And it's clear that inclusion is important to you, that your mission focused work is central to Brightspot's DNA as a company. And I'd love to hear more about how it plays out on a day-to-day basis at Brightspot as well.
Yeah. Our mission work is core to our company. Last year, we organized 30 events for employees to participate in that totaled over 2,000 hours of service over the course of the year. So these efforts focus really on serving three pillars that we've prioritized, which is first and foremost, people with intellectual disabilities, youth, and veterans. We typically have 2 to 3 projects happening every month. Some of them are grand in scale, right? Taking a team of 12 to Berlin for 10 days to participate in the World Games. And then other are smaller and more localized, whether it's a mentorship program that we run at a local elementary school or packing lunches for the homeless shelter that's around the corner from our office. My colleague, Alexa Fox, who's joined me in Seattle, Orlando, and Berlin at USA and World Games in the past, runs those day-to-day logistics and just does an incredible job of engaging our employees. And I think what's so important about it is it's not just these one-time things. It's a consistent, ongoing work that just gets reinforced over and over and over to our employees and to our customers and to our partners and to the organizations that we're trying to serve, that this truly is one of our core values and personifies that value of generosity that we want all of our employees to really embody and take to heart. Later this week, in fact, we've got a team of New York. All of our New York-based employees are teaming up to volunteer at the Hope Line. It's a diaper bank that serves low-income families in the Bronx. So we're always seeking ways to make an impact and engage employees in that journey.
And along kind of more so with that, with the employees in the Brightspot team, can you share some more kind of measurable ways that the partnership with Special Olympics has made a difference to that Brightspot team?
Absolutely. First and foremost, it's stretched our platform from a technical standpoint, which is great. Special Olympics has helped us grow some of Brightspot's capabilities. Through our work with World Games, we've been challenged to build digital experiences to provide real-time competition results. This helped us in future engagements with customers with similar needs and requirements like the American Junior Golf Association. We've also taken a more mindful approach to accessibility and are continuously improving our platform to make sure it meets accessibility guidelines and standards, right? Not just the front-end user experience, but making sure that the platform itself so that it is accessible to publishers of all shapes and sizes and of all varying needs. For me, however, what's more impactful is the difference that our relationship with Special Olympics has made on our people. We conduct an annual employee survey every year, and the most consistently positive theme that we hear about is about our mission-focused work and the way it resonates with employees. It provides additional meaning to what they do. And it's evident in employee retention statistics, right? Particularly among those who regularly participate in these events. They feel connected to something more meaningful and bigger than just another company, right? They're getting the chance to positively impact lives and do so in a meaningful way. And in a similar vein, the partnership with Special Olympics has provided so many opportunities to strengthen relationships within our own teams. I've seen groups of disparate employees arrive on site at a World Games or a USA Games, particularly in the last 2 years in Orlando in 2022 and Berlin in 2023, where so many employees now are remote and don't really have the opportunity to engage as meaningfully as they have in the past. And over the course of those 10 days, just build these incredible bonds and relationships and leave as close friends and colleagues that carries over. No matter what project they're working on, they've built these relationships that thrive over time and allow them to do even more impactful work because of the network they've helped build internally. And Special Olympics has served as the vehicle for those bonds to form.
Thank you so much, Parker.
What has Brightspot learned through the partnership that changed your approach to the product and innovation?
It's a great question, Novi. Thank you for asking. There's a bunch. I think one of the core tenets of Brightspot's community work is that it provides all of our employees with the opportunity to walk in the shoes of those we serve. One of the things by organizing all of these community service events is we want people to gain that greater understanding of what people in the community and the people they're serving, what they're challenged with, and how we can then go about making a better difference in their lives. And so through our service, right, we gain these lived experiences that we can then draw on, whether it's consciously and even subconsciously. One of those great experiences for me personally was in building the Berlin 2023 World Games website. This was an invaluable learning experience that I had. The German government set a really high bar for the World Games website. In fact, they did an incredibly thorough and detailed audit of the website for us and provided us with extensive feedback on areas we were doing really well from an accessibility standpoint and things that we had overlooked. And we were able to first and foremost implement those findings into the World Games website to improve the experience for the users of the 2023 World Games experience. But we were able to take some of those learnings back and apply them in other scenarios. We did it. We took one big learning and implemented it with SpecialOlympics.org. So we learn what we need to keep in mind, not just for future World Game sites, but for all of the properties that we're building for our customers. Additionally, though, and I think even more impactful than that, right, is from working with Special Olympics and what we learn about accessibility from our work with you all, is that it has a positive impact on all of our customers. We work with some of the biggest news and entertainment companies in the world, and they're absolutely thinking about and seeking accessibility options. And it helps us to just be an expert by working so closely with an organization where inclusivity is an essential priority. So we're able to take those learnings, take that expertise, and carry it forward and offer that expertise to support other customers that either are trying to drive their sites forward there or may not be thinking about it yet, and giving them some guidance on where to take it.
Learning. And I love that you're learning, but then you're also doing. Like the power of knowledge and the fact that you take that knowledge and you don't bottle it in, you get it out there, you keep applying it. It's a journey, it's an evolution of sorts that you guys are doing great work. And I feel like you probably have a lot of great advice for businesses of all sizes that kind of want to look and do more around expanding their inclusion accessibility. What advice would you give to those businesses?
You know, I think when we think about tech companies just in general, the overarching goal of every tech company is to grow their audience and grow their user base. At the end of the day, that's what they're trying to do. They want to reach the broadest audience possible. There's no easier path to accomplishing that goal than through inclusivity and accessibility, right? I hope we get to a point where inclusivity and accessibility aren't viewed as opportunities to expand, but as the starting point, right? If you want to reach the largest and broadest audience possible, start with accessibility. Make it accessible to all. And guess what? You'll have the largest audience. You'll reach the broadest user base. So make it inclusive to accomplish your key goal, which is to reach the largest group possible.
Beautifully said.
I would love to ask you this question. What does inclusion mean to you?
Every single person has unique gifts that they can share. Inclusion simply means that we create the opportunities to let those gifts shine.
Wow. To change the world, we must learn to collaborate and connect. Special Olympics partners with leading organizations like Brightspot, accessiBe, to create something impactful and enduring. We're thankful for leaders like Parker, who continually move the needle forward on what is possible when we make people the priority.
Thank you so much, Parker, for your time today and your voice and your answers.
Well, Josh, thank you so much for inviting me to join you all. This conversation was wonderful, and I truly appreciate the opportunity to talk with you all today.
Thanks, Parker. And everyone, thank you for joining us to the end. You can learn more about accessiBe, the Inclusion Revolution Radio, in Special Olympics by subscribing on YouTube and following us on Instagram, Facebook, and LinkedIn. Find us on our handles at accessiBe_community and at Special Olympics. And I think it's at Brightspot, right? Is for Brightspot?
Correct.
At Brightspot. Thank you all, and we're looking forward to the next episode. Bye, everyone.